What if you could do little things to bring more joy and happiness to your life? For a lot of people, childhood is a time of fun and innocence. As we get older, we have more responsibilities, and life can sometimes lose the magic that it once had when we were young. So the question that I asked myself, what if I could look back at one of the happiest times in my life and try to understand what it was that made that such a happy time? And here's what I came up with. Number 1, novelty. There are so many new experiences that we have as we're growing up. That's because the world is this new, mysterious place. When you haven't done anything yet, everything is new and exciting. So one of the things that we can do in the present is try to make sure that we're continuing to experience new things. Sometimes we get into a rut. Life becomes routine. We eat the same things, go to the same places, do the same things in our downtime. Why not try something different? Don't order the same thing that you always do at that restaurant that you always go to. Try something new. Novelty doesn't mean you have to travel the world. Of course, that's one approach that you can take. But why not start with changing up little things from time to time and see what difference that can make? Number 2, something to look forward to. When we're young, we always have something to look forward to. Whether you remember it or not, there was probably a time when you couldn't wait to go to school. Christmas Eve is never more exciting than when you're a child, and so many of us dream of the day when we can finally get our driver's license. Myself, I couldn't stop dreaming of what life was going to be like when I was out of high school and I would finally get the chance to start my business. And while it's important to live in the present, sometimes thinking about the future is what you have to do in the present. And as we get older, a lot of times that involves worrying about the bills we have to pay, the stressful things that are coming our way. So it wouldn't hurt to give yourself something to look forward to. Maybe take the idea of those novel experiences that we were just talking about and schedule some of them out into the future so that now you have something to get excited about. Number 3, curiosity. Children are naturally curious for reasons that we already talked about. As we get older, sometimes we start to act as if we know everything, because sometimes we're afraid to admit when there are things that we don't know. I think you'll find life is less stressful when you accept that you don't have all the answers. And then, if you can reignite that childhood curiosity in yourself, it'll become easier to find different novel experiences to have. Number 4, it's easier to just be yourself. At least this is the case when we're really young, because when we are really young and haven't yet experienced the external pressures that force us to conform, that's what we are. We're ourselves. We do what we want because that's what we want to do. And as we enter school very early on, we start to feel the pressure to want to fit in. Now, don't get me wrong, some pressure is a good thing. There are, for instance, certain lessons that we learn when we're young about right and wrong that can come from those pressures. But a lot of times as we grow up, we can lose sight of who we want to be if we give in to too much pressure. So it's never too late to look back at the dreams you had when you were younger, reassess them, and the path that you're currently on, and maybe start making changes that realign with where you actually want to be in life. Number 5, games. Maybe this was at the top of your list because it's a big one. I think when a lot of us look back at our childhood, there was a lot of time spent playing games, playing video games, board games, games around the house like hide and seek, freeze tag outside at recess, and of course, different sports. So why not try to work a little bit more play into your life? Invite friends over for a dinner and a game of cards. Maybe join a local club that offers sports for adults. Number 6, ignorance. Now, at first glance, this might sound like a bad thing, but there's something to be said about youthful ignorance. There's things that we're willing to try, risks that we're willing to take when we're young, because we haven't yet heard all the voices telling us the reasons it can't be done. Sometimes it takes a little bit of that youthful ignorance to push boundaries and expand our horizons. Number 7, always developing new skills. When we're young, this is a constant because, again, everything is new. So when we start playing sports, those are new skills that we have to learn. When we go to school and we start socializing, those are new skills that we have to learn. When we join clubs at school, again, those are all opportunities to learn new skills. So stay curious and keep learning new things, but also keep developing new skills. And I'll be honest, I almost forgot this one, and then a kid drove by on a bike and popped a wheelie. The look of joy and satisfaction as he did it was all the motivation I needed to add this to the list. It's probably obvious at this point that I think there's a lot of things that make childhood great for many of us, and I see no reason why we can't try to reignite a little bit of that inner child that we all have. Now, this is by no means a conclusive list, so if there's something that you think I left out, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you soon with the next video. Take care.
I'll put my light in a bottle, something to guide your way. Even if you're too scared to follow, there's a light in each new day.